So,
hello, people there.
hello.
For the ones who don't know me, my name is Francis Scott Fitzgerald. I know, nowadays I'm most famous than before, when I was alive. I want to talk about my life, especially when I started to be really famous. You know, in those times, it was very usual to be no one. But I wanted to be someone. I wanted to be famous, I wanted to be rich. Well, I want to start with talking about when I enrolled in the military service. I was in the army. And there I met a woman that I fell in love with. And from that moment, I really knew that we will get married in the future. But for that, I wanted to be rich. I wanted to earn money because it was very beautiful. And she belonged to the upper class in those times. Well, fortunately, I was discharged from my army services, so I moved to New York. I wanted to earn money, as I said before, so I wrote a novel. My first novel was a success. I earned a lot of money, so I was able to convince this woman to get married with me. The name of the novel was The Side of Paradise. I encourage you to read it. Well, we lived a very luxury and a life full of excesses. But I felt that I wanted to change the way I saw the world in those times. So we moved with my wife to France, and there I started to write novels too. And all the environment encouraged me to write The Great Gatsby. Well, Great Gatsby wasn't that famous during those times. Oh, I remember those times. The golden age, the roaring 20s. I had the world on my hand, but suddenly it turned apart. My wife was diagnosed with mental issues, and I started to drink more and more. I was so depressed. All that I constructed, I don't know what happened. I was lost in darkness. But then I started to write another novel. A novel that would granted me success that I've lost. Oh, but it wasn't successful at all. So I was depressed. Anyways, life went on. So after that, I really wanted to write another novel. But what happened when in the middle of the novel, I suffered a heart attack again. So I was dead. But my legacy was still alive. So for that, I wanted to present you a trailer of one of the most famous novels I wrote.
Yeah. It's good.
Looks like he loves you. He gives a chance to everyone who wants to.
So why should you go?
Let's start with your coat.
What's the problem with mine?
All of it.
Did not see it here.
Your most innocent sweetie. Gatsby has never appeared in his own party.
Oh, strange. So, what's here?
It's here.
Geoffrey.
How you got the key?
Heroin, right? Indeed. It was the athlete. In the flesh of sport. And this, who is this pretty girl? Out. Out!
Wait, what?
Get the fuck out of the room! Wait, but you're staying.
I'm suddenly glad to see you.
I'm suddenly glad to see you as well. Gatsby. It's a monumental quote, but I have the uneasy feeling that it is hard to sequence.
Why'd you here?
Because no one else seems to do so. I'm worried about you and Gatsby. This luscious life you're living. It could destroy you both. You get back here, Gatsby. Don't ask me to block some wallet.
What do you know about women?
So, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with the characters of the novel.
It's too much for me.
Come on. Why is too much? I don't believe you. What's the meaning of that word? Too much.
It's weird, but it feels awesome having parties all the time.
Of
And
course.
I know, right?
yeah, because we are actually in the roaring 20s. Well, let me tell you that all of this was shaped by the World War I and the effects that this had on America were wide-ranging, covering the political and the economic and social effect that the Great War had on the United States. Well, unlike the countries of Europe, homes and factories were not destroyed, and manufacturing production and efficiency increased through the necessity during the war. America has emerged as as a world leader in industries, and the U.S. economy was booming. Profits were increasing, and all of this led to this period to great consumerism. Well, on the negative side, inflation was high, and companies and corporations started to lose wages. To reduce the wages, and they lay off workers in order to keep down operating costs. Well, the power of the union has grown during the war, and workers started to protest. And in the 1880, saw a massive wave of strikes. Actually, the competition for employment was so huge, and racism as well. Well, there are two ways of looking at this nation. On the one side, a wealthy country which has, I don't know, a high standard of living, huge cars, and large houses. And on the other side, a country in which many people have suffered poverty. Actually, some of them enduring racial persecution. Well, the emphasis of having fun and spending money led the 20s to an era of consumerism. The country was confident and rich. Nevertheless, not all the Americans could, feel the prosperity of the Roaring Twenties. Well, this era of prosperity, this is an era of prosperity, and the Americans have never lived so well. Actually, we have more time and money to spend on new public amusements. For instance, I don't know, dancing halls, factory-made furniture, automobiles, I don't know, movie theaters and entertainment in general. Well, generally, some groups such as African Americans and women and farmers have not experienced the prosperity of the Roaring Twenties. Well, in this era, this era has brought new American writings. For instance, I don't know, Ernest Hemingway, Scott Fitzgerald, and Sinclair Lewis are an example of some authors in this era. Well, actually, a uniquely American music style whose roots lay in African expressions is now called or known as the Jazz Age. And the opposing side perceived this new music style as a threat because this Jazz Age tries to persuade the youth in order to rebel to the traditional culture. And some people perceived this new music style as, they considered that this new music style is from people with no abilities or with no skill, who are not trained at all. Well, the number of immigrants that have come to the United States is enormous. I mean, from the 1880 to the middle of the 1920s, the European traveled to America, and this issue was known as the Second Wave. Well, this situation was uncontrolled, and the government started to pass some laws in order to control the situation, because some people felt angry because these new immigrants have, I don't know, another culture, another religion, so this affects the country. Actually, some of us think that these new inhabitants could not bring anything to enrich our culture and our economy. Well, finally, the open door is closed to many, and there was more fear of immigrants because of xenophobia and racial persecutions.
Maybe more of that. Thank you.
So, girls, after all these years of fighting, we can vote. Yes, good. But, you know, I always say to my little daughter that the best thing a woman can do for herself is to be just a fool. Yes, a fool. Intelligence in woman is not valuable nowadays. So, and if you are a fool, you will get everything what you want in life. And what is that? Money, of course. Everybody wants money. Come on. I know you agree with me. Yes? What do you think is this affair with Gatsby if I'm married? Okay. I like him, but come on. Money. And at the end, all these people are just interested in money. Okay? They are just pretending. See them. They just want to show others how much money they have. So it's okay. Everything is money. And see Gatsby and Nick, they are the perfect example of the results of the First World War. The cosmopolitan and cynicism as a result. The American dream.
You should stop smoking, right?
The empty pursuit of pleasure and of course money. See, they are just pretending. They don't care about feelings. They are just pretending. They look happy, right? Of course, with these parties and everything, but they are just pretending. That's God. It's the double moral.
You're so serious today. What's supposed to be crying? Oh. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, just remember that all people in this world haven't had the opportunities that you have had. This was a major quote in The Great Gatsby, portrayed by narrator Nick Carraway's father. F. Scott Fitzgerald portrayed a non-judgmental way of writing in this novel, which is considered to be one of the most notorious pieces of writing in modern American history. Most of the events happening in this book are written in a non-judgmental way. This could be explained because Nick, the narrator, is actually the ideal self. Fitzgerald's ideal self. Sorry, I'm a bit drunk. High morals and unbroken by the city villainy until the very end, while Gatsby represented Fitzgerald's actual self, ambitious and in seek of wealth, while Daisy represented Gatsby's pursuit of wealth. From a certain point of view, we can say that Daisy is the main antagonist of the novel, because she's the reason why Gatsby wanted to be rich. Because, as she said,
rich girls don't marry poor boys. Did you know that Daisy Buchanan was actually based in real-life Fitzgerald's lover and wife, Zelda Sayers? Fitzgerald also loved to wield sentences together, starting with one main idea and ending with a totally different one. I have a piece of writing here that I would like to quote. If personality is an unbroken series of successful gestures, then there was something gorgeous about him, some heightened sensitivity to the promises of life, as if he were related to one of those intricate machines that predicted earthquakes thousands of miles away. This book was written during the Roaring '20s, where bootlegging, jazz, and the American dream were a way of living, and as such, Fitzgerald tried to portray this society as an idol and as a god who, at the very end, falls down under his own weight.
Well, you might know now that Fitzgerald is an ubiquitous presence inside his book, The Great Gatsby. But not only he tried to portray his beliefs inside of the characters that he wrote, but also in the geography that is present in this book. For example, we have the East Egg and the West Egg. In the West Egg, there live the new rich, while in front of them, at the other side of the Gulf, there live the old rich. This represented that they were kind of at the same level, but not actually. They were at the same level, but in different places. They were facing each other. They did not live together. There was a whole bridge that separated them. Also, we can see this as he wrote and described the Valley of the Ashes. The Valley of the Ashes is a place where all the industrial waste is just thrown. This represents the poor people, and this represents the moral and the I'm sorry, the moral and the virtuous decay at the time. But not only this, we also have New York. New York represents this pursuit of just pleasure. That's why Myrtle has this apartment that Tom bought her in New York, where they all used to party all the time. But not only this, Fitzgerald also took some aspects that were really characteristic from Shakespeare. He also made the climate, the environment of these scenes alike with the emotions that the characters were feeling. For example, when Gatsby first met Daisy in the party, it was a rainy day. This was due to the melancholy of the moment. And when also Gatsby fought with Tom, who was Daisy's husband, it was a hot day, one of the hottest days in the year. And that was because of the anger that was felt at the time. Moreover, when Myrtle is killed, it's also raining. And at the end, when Winston kills Gatsby, it's the first day of autumn. This tried to represent how he wanted. Fitzgerald wanted to pause time and start over then in the spring and try to again pursue his dream of this American dream, this pursuit of Daisy, his loved one. In the same way, we also have little symbols left in the book that represent the same ideas, like the eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckleberg, yes, T.J. Eckleberg, while they were going to New York, just at the border of the Valley of Ashes, entering to New York. This is not stated in the book because Fitzgerald said that all the meanings are provided in the book by how the characters view these same symbols. But it says that these eyes represented God and how God looked down to this society that was in decay, where the morals were not present, where everyone was just pursuing money, where everyone was just pursuing pleasure. And finally, we have the green light. The green light is the final representation of this American dream. And Nick, in one chapter of the book, states that probably this green light, it's how the newcomers, the European people, saw America at one time. It was the light at the end of the tunnel. It was the new beginning. And also it was Gatsby's new beginning. This light was at Daisy's house because he wanted that more than anything else. That was the reason why he became rich. That was the reason why he became who he was now.
I think that it's time to go.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's too much.
this headache.
But I haven't finished the bottle. Where's the bottle?
I think it's okay.
We should go home.
Let's go home.
Okay.
Or maybe we can go to another party.